I'm nervous in front of Tim. We go to the live. It's weird. Episode 51, Politicking Gyra Larry Love. Live from Studio 239. Very special episode today. Kind of come full circle from episode 1 where myself, Larry, and Tim Guerrette, who happens to own this studio. So we're very excited to bring this episode to you, kind of come full circle. Politicking Gyra Larry Love, sponsored by Elevate Gear and Elevate Medical. One time for Jeremy Mitchell. I know, Larry, it's the only clothing brand you officially endorse, right, Larry?
For sure.
And Tim, you're
Jeremy
a fan.
Mitchell in the house.
We love Jeremy Mitchell.
Jeremy Mitchell's great.
These shirts are so, not only they look good, but they're the most comfortable polos that I've put on. And
I screwed up on mine. I got to tell you. I go. I can wear a large or medium or something. I got mine are too small.
Yours are too small.
So I'm gonna try to have to work on get myself down.
Give you something to work towards too.
Yeah, that's right.
You can go see Jeremy.
I said that
medical.
10 years ago and stuff. Yeah. No, Jeremy's great.
Yeah, we love Jeremy. The shirts are amazing. Even Pat Dearborn put one on and said, "Wow, that this is comfortable. Not only looks great." So
the shorts too. He got shorts.
I gotta get some shorts.
Yeah,
yeah.
you know.
Actually might go see Jeremy after this. Miss Jeremy at the pool party, but he had some other stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And also Becker Custom Builders, luxury home remodeler. Also did Studio 239 here.
Yep.
Also did your.
He's actually working on it right now. He's working on my outdoor kitchen.
Yeah.
Looking good. Had a chance to check it out this morning. There's people there working on it today. So yeah, getting ready to flip some.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you to say that. I'm waiting on you to say that. So, yeah, as soon as himself. Yeah, see that? So as soon as he say he gonna fire that grill up, we just gonna be waiting on the invite.
Fired it up.
There might be like 6 people invited. I don't think we'll make the cut. But,
yeah. We number them.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be like in the second tier.
We get in the second tier.
It's something I've always wanted to get done since I built the house, and it's like been 5-6 years now, and I'm like, I think it's time.
Yeah.
Wife is reminding me it's time.
What kind of burgers does Tim fire up?
Thick ones.
Thick ones?
No,
yeah.
I like the Angus beef, or obviously the Wagyu.
Wagyu beef.
Yeah, that's always good. I mean, you can't go wrong with like a Wagyu hamburger. You get a Jimmy P's, throw it on, boom. You got it good.
Since you used to be the blue, I figure you might go with the black and blue burger.
I like that.
Black and blue burger is good.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
Good.
How do you cook your burger normally?
Little medium.
Medium?
Yeah, not, and then usually if it's, I can do like medium rare.
Yeah, I like medium rare.
Good, man. Medium rare.
A good burger. It's got to be a good quality medium rare. Otherwise, medium well-ish.
Yeah.
But keep us posted on what kind of job Blake does.
Oh, yeah.
For you.
We'll make sure he does.
Well,
and he will. He always does. He calls me every day, a couple times a day, making sure things are going good. So that's nice.
Good. Happy to hear that. We'll get the before and after shots once it's done. Also, Tina Del Rosa, Tina D Agency. Yeah. Real quick, one time for Tina.
One time for Tina, and also, sending love to you and your family. I know they're dealing with a death right now for her uncle. Okay. So sending love and prayers to the De La Rosa family out there. They've been nothing but family to me as well. So I love you all, and probably see y'all tomorrow.
Absolutely, and I get my car insurance through Tina, and if I can get insurance on me, that she's doing a good job and a great rate. So too, we love Tina. Lee Corp Homes as well, largest manufacturer of pre-carriage homes in all of Florida, and also too, Alda's Diner.
Yes, always Alda's Diner. Somebody got to feed the big boy. I got my special dish over there.
Arjan,
yeah, Alda's Diner. I got a special plate, so y'all go.
Love special.
For sure, go ask for the Larry Love special. You won't be disappointed.
And what do you get there, Tim?
I like the club. They got like a club thing. I don't know who it's named after. But
you eat the whole club because that's a big sandwich.
No, I can't eat all the food when I go there. I have to say, what's great about it, when you go there, they give you the portions are huge, and usually you can take it home and eat it for dinner.
Yeah, the huge portions. Your omelets are really good as well. Yeah, Arjan.
They're good. And they got a bar there. Mm-hmm. Not that I drink at lunch, but if you want to, you can.
They got mimosas and Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
I'm going to start hosting poker night there one of these nights after hours.
Yeah. I know they were wanting to do a little 239 Live over there. So I know it's a little bit of a challenge.
Apparently, I think he asked Larry. He said we're supposed to come.
Yeah,
out.
he been asked.
Yeah. But his internet, we gotta work on his internet over
there.
Oh,
his internet.
Sure.
Man, internet sucks out there and go and get the States. Period.
Streaming from Albania. what's going on out there? The bootleg.
Arjan, you got to tighten up out there, baby.
You know what's so funny with Arjan? Like he's got like Albanian, his ties and roots and all that, but he's got like Ohio State here.
Oh yeah,
he's got this
all American.
I mean,
and his daughter, she's at Alabama.
Yeah, he's all over, which is great.
And she's finishing up this year.
Once when he commits, he helped me out a lot.
He's all in.
He's all in. He was great with me.
Big supporter.
And he told me to go around talk to a few people, and I did that for him, and it was worth it because he's got a good mind for doing the right things.
Yeah, he really does.
And he's connected. He knows a lot of people as well. Yeah. Definitely works hard when he supports someone as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also Naples City Lifestyle. Greg contacted me for the photo shoot in July, right?
Yes, I got a photo shoot July 10th. I'm looking forward to it.
Did you know who else is going to be on the cover?
Who?
You haven't heard? Maybe I'll tell you off here, man. I'm probably not supposed to say.
Oh, my.
Some interesting people on that car. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
But Larry Love.
I guess you're putting the interesting people with the most distinguished gentlemen in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
So somebody got to sell it. Why not me?
Might be Larry will be on the cover.
Yeah, no,
might be the highest selling issue of City Lifestyle.
It will be.
Since Patrick Dearborn was on the cover.
I break records.
I don't know. You called Dearborn out for the cold plunge.
I break records.
We'll see. And also, too, we want to thank the Martin Law Firm. Law offices in Collier, Lee, also Hillsborough. You're a big fan of Steve Martin.
Yeah.
And his wife.
Good friends, man.
Yeah.
Good people. Good people. Yeah.
And another law firm, Suarez, Rios, and Weinberg. And
speaking of my main man, Colombo. Speaking of that, man, we just had a settlement, nice settlement, in my favor. Like, all I do is win. I'm the unofficial partner of that law firm, so all I do is win.
Well,
and one time for RSW again, baby.
You spent a lot of time in law offices, it seems like.
Damn, I did go to law school.
Florida State?
No.
Well, no.
Undergrad, Florida State. Master's, Indiana.
So we can address this too, real quick, to Goodwin Law too as well.
Yeah.
Sponsor the show, so we want to thank
Matt Goodwin.
We've been trying to get him back on the show, but he's been traveling a lot. But he's a big supporter of the show and 239 Live. So big shout out to Matt Goodwin.
Yeah, I've known Matt for a long time.
He answers.
He does a lot of my real estate stuff. Matter of fact, we have a closing on the 14th of July with Matt and his team over there.
Yeah, they do not only closings but trusts and probes. So it's got the whole gamut. But real quick, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because this is gonna. So I'll just set the precedent. Anything goes on this show. Don't hold back. 100% raw. You guys good with it?
Let it go.
I don't care. So let's the law, because Tim always says Larry said he went to law school at Florida State, right?
He says he went up there for law school.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
He said he went up there for law school.
And I said, no, Larry did not go to law school.
I did not go to Florida State Law.
No, but when you converse, you said, from my understanding, and I can go back.
Please go back.
You go up. When I go to Florida State, I was at Florida State for my legal studies. That's what you say.
Florida State.
That's what I hear.
Florida State undergrad. I did criminology. I double bachelor in criminology and psychology.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess if you want to put it at that minor in education.
I mean, it was a conversation.
But I was in Texas for
we could clear up any stuff on this show.
But the bad part about it, I never applied to Florida State Law. I actually applied to Levin Law School, which is, oh my God, University of Florida Law School.
Probably, arguably, one of the best law schools.
No, it was way better than Florida State. But I think Florida State,
Florida in general, right, is one of the better law schools.
It's crazy.
UF probably is, and Stetson's good too.
Stetson used to be one of the top writing analysis programs in the entire country.
It's a good baseball school too, Stetson.
Stetson was it. They've got a great writing analysis program.
Look at University of Florida's alumni just for Collier
in the state
County.
Around Southwest Florida, everything seemed like it came out of
Matt Goodwin, Did Steve go there?
Steve
Martin.
Steve and his wife.
It's a pretty.
Yeah, it's a lot of University
Just
of
to
Florida.
get in that school in the University of Florida is
It's
5-0.
Your daughter went there.
Yeah,
right?
my
Yeah,
daughter
it's hard as hell. It used to be hard as hell to get in the University of Florida. Florida was one of the premier universities in the entire country.
It is.
It's like
I heard they have the best.
after like the Ivy Leagues comes the University of Florida, the Vanderbilts, the University of Michigans, and so forth.
Well, they say Vanderbilt's the Ivy League of the South, right?
Yeah,
pretty
that in
much.
Florida.
Yeah,
They have a good dentistry. I heard they have like the best dentistry school. Too.
But I think Florida State just, y'all know, we had to come up. We had to make some adjustments.
Florida State usually is like the fallback.
Yeah.
That's a damn lie.
You could have
It's
a
a
wall
lie.
You could have a
It's a
1.5 and get into Florida.
Right there with UCF.
Why you gonna do me like that, man?
I think I got accepted
Hey, man,
UCF.
I'm gonna put my application into Florida.
South Florida's
Things
easy.
don't go as good.
Go to UCF.
USF. No, USF.
USF is easy too. Yeah.
FSU, and then UCF, and maybe Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
What is it called now?
Florida Southwestern
When I
College.
was here,
That's where
that's how I went through.
That's where I went. I went to Edison.
University. Graduate.
Yeah. Back when it was just 2 buildings. Back.
Yeah.
But we're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, I'm educated.
What's the nicest campus you've ever been?
Wake Forest. Before you even start, Wake
well,
Forest.
I've been to Wake Forest. It's small, but it's beautiful.
Man, that campus is so beautiful.
That is a beautiful campus.
Florida campus to me is not that great. FSU seems really
where I'm
nice.
going with that Florida's
Yeah.
campus might be the
Suck.
worst I've ever
Yeah,
seen
it's not
for a
really
major
great.
school.
Yeah.
Major discipline. You know what's really nice? The University of Maryland is beautiful, and Chapel Hill too, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You can't.
They're
Duke, like Duke
They
and all
the same.
those. It's like
Wake Forest is just smaller, but
Yeah.
because when you watch a movie, you see those schools, right? And you're like, "Whoa, this is what college is supposed to be." University of South Carolina was nice too. That's
Never-
that's
never
nice. They
really-
got like a nice setup there.
I heard Clemson's actually
Yeah,
really.
all-
I have
I mean,
a friend that went to
they're
Clemson.
all-
Any ACC schools really, except for Florida State, I think have pretty nice campuses.
Well, I don't care who tells.
Georgia Tech is kind of, it's right in the city. You think Florida State's got a nice campus?
We have a very nice campus.
It's all right.
I
It's
think in the-
dated, but I think
I think
they've.
in the stadium
done a
area
lot
and
of
all that's
work.
pretty nice.
We have a very nice campus.
It's a little dated.
No,
It's not dated.
no,
It's not. It's
no.
old.
You're just a hater, man.
I'm just stating.
You need to
Have
stop
been
being
to
a hater,
Florida
man.
State?
Yeah, I lived in Tallahassee for
Oh, you live in Tallahassee?
for a short. Went up to police academy.
Okay.
I would. I'll buy
Tallahassee's
your.
a dump.
I'll buy
I
your
mean, let's
kid.
be
I'll
real.
Quincy
Yeah,
right there at the
that's what Tim. That's when he
Hey,
earned all
Kevin.
his pimp cards.
In
Yep.
Tallahassee.
and Tallahassee's.
And Florida State's
Tallahassee.
right by the hood too. So
It's right there in the hood.
it's right there in
Yeah.
the hood.
Cone, Fourth, all that.
Yeah, no, it's good though. Good.
Mm-hmm.
University of Miami. They say the campus there. I've never really
Actually, I'm
hanged
not gonna.
around,
I'm not gonna lie. University of Miami's campus is not that
Well,
great.
Coral
They're
Gables.
built
if it's-
for the student athletes. It's like it
If
looks
it's-
like old apartments.
Yeah, if it's in the actual campus and stuff is in Coral Gables, but there's like a nice part of Coral Gables and there's other part of Coral
Coral
Gables.
Gables is nice for the
Whoa.
most part.
Yeah,
Isn't it changed a lot too? Coral Gables is
yeah,
a lot
it's
nicer now.
nicer. lot
yeah,
nicer.
it used to be
Yeah.
pretty tough. You drive down the road.
What's the
it'd be-
worst area that you've ever been in? You would say where you felt like completely unsafe.
The worst area?
'Cause I'll tell you what Larry told me a while back. Remember what we were
Baltimore, I think.
Baltimore.
Well, if you was in
Downtown Baltimore.
Cherry
The
Hill.
Wire.
Yeah, that's Cherry Hill.
I remember Larry, we were getting ready to go on the Joe Whitehead show. This is going back like 15, 16. And I don't know how it came up, but Larry said, I don't want beef with people from 2 cities. You remember what you said?
Oh, in Florida.
No, in general, in the country.
I mean,
You said New Orleans
and Gary, Indiana.
and Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, Gary, that was
Listen.
the murder capital of
Gary was murder capital forever.
Right
Like,
New
outside
Orleans
Chicago.
is Chopper City.
yeah,
So
so
Is Gary right outside Chicago?
right outside Chicago.
Yeah.
It basically
Gary-
should be
Gary is
Illinois.
Chicago.
Crown Point. all
Crown
that, 'cause
Point, Maryville.
I remember, yeah, Maryville. I used to teach there, so Cabrini Greens was the biggest, I think, public housing in the at least in
Second.
Chicago. Yeah, so they tore all that down and they gave all those people like these vouchers and stuff to move to Gary, Crown Point, Indiana, Maryville, and it basically brought a lot of that out.
But it was all that. It was that before
It was
that.
before that.
Yeah,
It was
because
before. Gary was.
I was going. I
Yeah.
went to Cabrini. I went to Cabrini in 2002. And
Wasn't bad.
oh yeah, because they got
'Cause
dudes
I was
on the
gonna
top.
say, it's
They got dudes on the top
The
with
cops don't go there.
Yeah, they actually got snipers. So I was going to go see a girl. I had met a girl in Atlanta. She lived in Chicago in the Cabrini Green. She said, Larry, I never forget. I was driving the Edgerton two-door Pontiac, Florida plate. She said, you have to call me and I have to get them your plate because you got people up on the top with binoculars and they see. And if it's not right, it won't be right. And this real, like, and this is when I started to learn really about Chicago. Again, like, that Midwest is very dangerous. Mm-hmm. So I only went one time and one time only, because I don't have no business being there because I'm not from there, and they really gangbang.
And they know.
If you're out here, if you're not.
Yeah. But
do
man.
Do you know what the largest housing project in the country is?
Queens.
Queens
I've been to Queens Bridge.
Bridge housing project.
The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Yeah. Big shout out to Derek, little bro. So he took me to Queens. He grew up in Queens, and I just had the chance. I had to see Queens because that's music.
I was
and it's the history.
Not to get too hip hop, Tim, but out of that housing project, Nas was born there, Mobb Deep, Capone, and Noriega for
that explains it.
A housing.
That explains it.
A housing though a building produced so many, musical.
You don't know nothing about Roxanne.
Roxanne,
she the one that started.
And MC Shan too, yeah.
So I had to see it just because of that. But I live somewhat in Gary. Like I spent a lot of time in Gary from Indiana. I used to drive up. The girl that I was dating in while I was in Indiana, she was from Gary. And so like they family loved me. Man, I used to go up there. Hell, man, the mayor got shot. Man, it was just like, I never forget 1038 Ralston Street. And it goes down in the G. It goes down in the G. And the thing about it is, it's so run down. Because there used to be a flourishing city.
Yeah.
When the steel mills and all that killed, and then crack came in. That's a rough, deadly city.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, talk about patrolling Immokalee in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Listen, Immokalee was a great place, and it still is. It was so different then, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like different. And the great thing about it is working out there, and I was I wasn't assigned to Immokalee, but I was assigned county-wide.
Okay.
Working gangs from 97 to 2001. So when you go to Immokalee back in the day, you used to go there and you knew it was going to be something going down. But I will tell you that the people in Immokalee, they really like you. I never had a bad experience, but when the shit goes down there in Immokalee, it goes down in Immokalee. Is it comparable to like a Cabrini Green in Chicago? No, but per capita, per size is violent. I've been to a homicide on the street, and people are like literally just walking over the guy. I went into a pool hall one time, and everybody's still playing pool, and the guy's like whacked, and and they're like sitting there like, I get my ball in, and then I respond.
So what's going on?
What's the little red building there? You come down off of right off Boston there, right? Anyways,
so that used to be Danny's place.
Yeah. So this one guy, it was the craziest thing in the world. This guy comes up, he goes, "There's a guy inside with a gun." He came up to our car, and I'm like, "What's he wearing?" He goes, "Yeah, it's a white tank top,
of course,
like,
right?
White beater type thing."
Of course,
dude. I walk in, there's like 5 guys with the same shirt on. 5 guys. So I look over, and I see one guy heading to the back door.
So
that's God, man. We got him, and we had somebody back there, and sure as shit, he had like a 38 special on him. Friggin' pulled that thing out. And everybody, but the thing is about it is like the police will walk in those places back in the day, the pool hall, and they don't even look at you. They don't even, it's like no big deal. Boom, they just, everybody. Santos Corner.
On 3rd.
Yeah, they used to go to Santos Flop House, right? There'd be people they pay $5 a night to sleep there. We'd go through there. Everybody be just like walking. It's probably one of the only places I know and I've ever experienced that when the police are around, they don't even look up. Nothing. So it's probably just used to it.
How many?
That's what people didn't know about Immokalee, but Tim has spoke on, because it made front page of the Tallahassee Democrat. Per capita, Markley had one of the highest, if not, I think it was like number 3, as the highest crime rate in the state of Florida.
Violent crime.
Violent crime.
Yeah.
And violent crimes. And that was like 90, right when he got there, like 97, 96.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was. And they told us, and they probably didn't keep track of it, but when I got there in 97, 98, they said, oh man, you should have seen it like 10 years ago. Right?
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely improved over the years.
A whole lot is better.
And but the people out there, and I'm not saying this because Larry's here.
No, we
The
talk
people
about
out there
Montreal.
are just like genuine. I love working in high schools. The kids loved it. That middle school would average. That middle school, Tomas Acosta was there at that middle school for a long time. He would average over 120, 30 arrests a year, and that was just like not even trying.
Yeah.
And our goal is not to arrest kids. It was just to keep things in check.
Yeah.
And high school was a little bit better because the kids. I used to run what is called the assist center. I used to do that.
assist?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to run the assist every so often. I'd go out there, and then what the assist was, instead of a kid getting suspended for 10 days, they cut it in half and give them 5. But I'm out there; these kids are wild, man. Just keep them locked on.
And I think part of the connection me and Larry had, because I already knew a couple of people from Immokalee. I always had great experience. I'll tell you, I didn't even tell you this story. The first time I went out there, I was covering high school basketball. I was 15, so I wasn't driving yet. So my mom went out there with me. It was like 97, 98. And it was a packed house. And my mom's like looking around. She's like, we're the only white people in there, obviously. She's like, are we safe?
It's a little different.
Hey.
But it's all about how you carry yourself. And,
Funny thing about it is, though, what in Immokalee, one thing we do know, and it's like, and culturally, and this is something that white people don't know. Black people are afraid of white people. We're never going to do anything to someone that's white because we know the cavalry is coming. We know if you just say they call the police, we're going to be like, man, they're going to shut down the whole block. They're going to come and they're going to get their man, whatever. Unlike if you did something. That's why they always say black on black crime is so high because it's just what it is. Like it's a different type of investigation we always felt like, and a lot of people really weren't going to say anything anyway. And also, the real gangsters always discourage you from doing stupid stuff, especially to somebody that's not from there. Yeah. So you don't do that, period.
Well, and I remember like Pee Wee and Eric and Derek Prey, they were so like appreciative that someone was coming out there to cover them. They're like, no one comes out to Immokalee to cover us.
Man, that's why we hated Naples, man. We hated everything about Naples. We hated Naples with a passion. We like, man, they so privileged. They got everything. And then like even some of the kids, they just soft.
And I remember Immokalee playing at Naples High. I actually sat basically with the Immokalee team. They got all the calls against them. Against them. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they were calling stuff on Pee Wee and stuff. So, I mean, I saw it firsthand. Like, I'm not a big, spread rate, but I saw it for like.
Because we just got that.
Now the football team.
The stereotype. If you from Immokalee, you just bad, you grimy, and you this and that, and that's the way a lot of people just treated us. But, and something else to what Tim said, like how they'll come in, like you just see people, you can see somebody dead, and you just keep moving, minding your own business, because if stuff don't involve you, you keep pushing.
Yeah.
Before that stuff do involve you,
yeah.
And then you ain't gonna have nowhere to run. So it's either fight or flight. And since we on that.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about a run.
Let's go. That's what I was going to segue to. Told you the show be all over the place.
Because I have my take on it.
Go ahead.
And I'm just really completely tired. I love my country. And it's like an airplane. They tell you to put your mask on first before you can help anybody else. And I think America, we got so much going on in this country that we need to take care of. We're giving all this money, all this aid to all these other countries and everything else when we should take care of home, fix home before we try to help someone else. And eventually, because again, just how I grew up, somebody always gonna challenge the big bad guy to take his spot. And that's what I'm afraid of. And I hinted on that on Facebook because I said, well, you had Japan trials in 1941. And it's not about the win or losses. It's just a person feel like, I'm going to test them. And, of course, we blew the brakes off them, but at what cost? Look at Pearl Harbor. Every year since 1941, it's a day that live in infamy. I don't want to hear that speech no more, meaning that I don't want no current time where it'll be another May 3rd or whatever, 2026. This is a day that living in infamy. Somebody attack us. I don't want to be attacked because eventually somebody always going to eventually push the button. And I think we're there. I really think we're there now.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing about it is I believe we have, the United States, we have an obligation to, I would say, monitor the world, right? Police the world, no. And I think that's what we've done a lot of. Mm-hmm. However, we have to definitely, and I agree with President Trump on this one, and also his advisors, most of them, is we have to show peace through strength. And I think there are times where we have to use our strength, and we have to show that we can use our strength to get that peace. Now, with that being said, the scary part is, obviously we went in and we had specific targets that we hit. I think we had 3 nuclear. We basically got their nuclear program,
which should never
basically nixed. And I think what you're going to say is, who are we to decide who gets to have the nuclear bomb, right?
Because you got to play devil's advocate. Iran being surrounded by Israel, Saudi Arabia, they all have nuclear weapons. Their argument would be, well, we should be able to protect ourselves with nuclear weapons. Now, on the flip side, you would say, well, Iran doesn't have a proven track record of being reliable to be able to have those kind of nuclear weapons. But it's always you got to look at it both angles. So
you got a gun, I want a gun. Yeah, that's the way I see it.
But we all grew up with that one kid in our neighborhood that you're like, holy shit, I hope he never has a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Be nice to him be nice to that guy because when he comes shoot up the place.
We all know that guy, right?
And that's how
I know that guy. True. He'd be like, we're all the same age.
That's a good analogy.
And you always got that one guy like, holy shit, we don't want him to have a gun. Yeah. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now because Iran hasn't had a really good track.
Johnny's had a gun.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the thing, but What I think we have done now, though, is like, okay, hey, we just knocked out your nuclear capability.
Just be quiet.
Be good now.
Yeah. We're good.
Forget what we did.
Yeah.
But, and that's a scary thing because you have sleeper cells in our country currently.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think the next war or whatever will be necessarily bombs coming or it'll be more cyber warfare, underground. That's the kind of stuff, that I would be concerned about.
I watched it this morning where President Trump talked about how disgusted he was with Israel.
He said that?
He did because I guess he talked to him on the phone.
He said it because
like
it's supposed to be
he talked to him on the phone.
Everything supposed to be cool. And then again, Israel, I got a big brother. My big brother gonna beat your ass if you act up. Yeah. So I'm still about to go over here and slap you. And if you hit back, I got big brother.
Yeah.
So what Israel do? And
we're gonna be done after we do this.
Yeah.
Was it kind of like that?
Yeah.
Because I think they had a phone agreement. I mean, because it's kind of scary to think.
I got to get my lick back.
It's kind of scary to think like, hey, you guys good? You guys gonna hold off on those bombs? Are you good? Yeah, we're good. We're good. And then you hang the phone up and you tell everybody, all right, everything's good. An hour later, they launch.
Yeah.
So it's like, when is it gonna end?
So it's
never, unfortunately.
And that's why I always say we need to mind our GD business because you got people breaching everything else, and we don't have no control of that. That's not our country. America's is ours. And yes, we're gonna protect American soil, American troops, and what have you. But getting involved in other people's mess, it could be messy. So if China come in, Russia come in, all these other countries come in, we all like it's WW3 time.
It's on the brink.
And it's really closer now.
Do you agree with the analogy if Israel falls in the Middle East, the basically the world fall? Because that's always the argument. Well, we can't let Israel fall because that would be it.
Well, my personal opinion on that is every country needs to stand
On their
own to a certain extent. The thing is, though, what Larry said is I want to just echo on that is like there's been a few poems we probably heard, don't close your blinds, right? So when you like live in your house and you close your blinds to everything going on around you, before you know it, your enemy is in your house. But to Larry's point is, okay, that's a distance away, and like if
Iran's not really messing with us, right?
Yeah, and if I'm living in Naples, Florida, I'm not really worried about what's happening in New York,
right?
But again, you got to really be cautious of that, because if you close your blinds and you don't pay attention to what's going on, before you know it, they're going to be at your doorstep.
But hold on.
Anyway,
but so you're saying Iran is a threat to the U.S. before all this? Because it seems like they're issues more Israel.
That's what people say to me, not to me.
How?
Yeah, I think there's a big concern is like it goes back in time a little bit about death to Americans, death to our country.
Now
that's what they're using.
Yeah, that's what they're using.
But let's do a quick history lesson. The U.S. basically helped put the Shah of Iran in, right? Back then, right?
Facts.
Repressed the people. Then the people had a coup and replaced the Shah of Iran with the Ayatollah. And then the U.S., Saddam Hussein, bad guy, right? We got in bed with him. Let's go attack Iran. So our track record with the Iranian people is not the best. So you would understand why they would be somewhat skeptical. I remember someone went on the streets in Iran and interviewed you like your everyday Iran. Those people don't want war. They don't necessarily hate the U.S. They want peace. Now you have your fanatics, and some of their leaders are obviously extreme. But again, here, like, why would Iran, trust the U.S. or look at us in a, basking of light? Just my opinion.
No, it's all good observations. I just feel that, and to Larry's point is, there's going to be fighting over there, and it's been that way for
gonna be dead
forever.
And go.
Yeah, it's way past.
It's like we're just like a little speck on the radar. It's complicated. I think we like to make sure people know that we are the United States, which I love about that.
Yeah,
we can do
it's the greatest country.
We can do what we want when we want to do it, and I think that is something we're trying to show now. And again, strength with power, but with that comes, when you go over to an ant pile and you put your toe in it and all the ants go crazy, you can probably stomp them out, but
you're going to get one or two.
Yeah, you're going to get one or two.
And we've just entered the room, basically. Now we've gotten ourselves involved by bombing those nuclear sites. Fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
And you've been, and thank you for your service. You giving your life, putting it on the line, and so forth. So, like, it's one thing me saying, and one thing Patrick saying, but I got a different take when it comes to people like yourself saying it, because you did something neither one of us done, and a lot more people haven't done. You put it on the line, because anytime you put that uniform on, it's on the line. And so, I had several comments, several inboxes about my post, and it was military men. And nobody want to go to war.
Yeah, no, I agree
those
with that.
guys, like, man, we want to be home minding our own. And so, like, those few guys, like, and one gentleman, he was like, man, Larry, to be honest, that weapons of mass destruction. He was there during that time. So he hit on that. He was like, certain things that should not never took place.
We were, I think, misled. My opinion. We've debated on that too. I think we were misled. You probably disagree. Into Iraq that they.
Well, I think you guys are looking at it from the president came out when we went into Iraq, said we have weapons of mass destruction, and they are holding weapons of mass destruction. I think based on the intel that they had, they did what they did at the time. Come to find out.
Wouldn't that be something you'd want to be 99.9%?
That's like the death penalty. That's like the death penalty.
Yeah. I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to be 100% of the time.
And I will tell you that 9/11, there was definitely a strike back moment,
But
right?
Iraq had nothing to do with
Well,
it.
but there's conversation that there's ties back to it.
There was, but there
Yeah.
was no really proven.
That
was
we
more-
or maybe that you feel.
Man, there's all
Or
type of
maybe, you know.
conspiracy
Yeah.
theories with
Yeah.
9/11.
Yeah. It's just sad because the country after 9/11 was never more united. And then I feel like the Iraq war, that was the beginning of the separation. There was no Republican Democrat after 9/11, really.
It wasn't.
It
was
was
like-
a beautiful time. And
We're one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think part of that part of that
Nothing lasts
part of
forever,
that
I guess.
retaliation was I think,
but
and you know who was responsible for it, but part of that retaliation was
But-
let's go get them.
but we
And
knew,
I think the whole country came together to do that. And then you find
for
out
the most part,
yeah,
not
Monday morning
everyone.
quarterback, you find out, hey, well, it wasn't really all what it was.
But
meant
you're
to
the
be.
president of the United States, so you
Yeah,
trust
well,
your
I
decision.
mean, you felt the decision wasn't all that great or wasn't good. I feel that
Looking
at
back
the
at it,
time-
you still think it was the right decision?
maybe not knowing what we know now.
It's easy to do it now.
No, I
Yeah.
get it, but some
It's
people would
easy.
still stand by it and say, "No, we took out Saddam Hussein." But did we? We really destabilized the region more so. But obviously, Bin Laden.
Yeah, but when was the last time really
Mhm.
that you've heard anything? I mean, I know there's a lot
about
of
Iraq?
things going on in Iraq.
Well,
I mean, it
do
seems
we
like
know-
they've rebuilt for the most part, got themselves. I say rebuilt. I'm sure they went back hundreds of years,
Right,
probably.
right.
But
I've heard Libya is an absolute fiasco. I've heard people that lived there from there said it was much better under Gaddafi's
Gaddafi.
rule.
Yeah, I heard that.
You
too.
know, and that's not on, but that's obvious. That was an Obama decision to go ahead and take out. So sometimes, those countries are unfortunate. I hate to sounds terrible, but sometimes the country on a dictatorship. So I don't know, just kind of here or there. But Trump now is, the one thing. I thought one of his most amazing feats for his first term. No wars. No.
we say
no,
that though, but he did drop bombs. He did drop bombs as a
On-
president. I know he did attack, but we didn't go into a full blown war.
Who did?
Yeah, we had
I
some-
could be
we-
wrong. I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
we had some conflicts when he was there.
I know it's apparent. It's a
And sometimes we
conflict.
don't even know.
I
And
don't remember.
sometimes
I'm
we don't
talking
even know if
Yeah.
the intelligence. But
Yeah.
but at least from a public
But
standpoint,
he didn't. But, and I
there was
think-
no war. I
think-
mean, that's pretty amazing for
I think
4
he ran-
years.
I think he ran on that. Like, hey, listen, you're not going to be in war. And he was pretty much came out and said that I'm going to have this Russian Ukraine thing all taken care of. And
that
we
was
can
a
see
big
where that's
mistake.
at,
Yeah,
too.
that was.
But the problem is he's dealing with people and talking to people like.
he thought.
He
I
thought
think.
that they
I
could
think
get
he
him to come
genuinely
around.
thought he was going to
Yeah.
get Russia, Ukraine
And
settled.
I think he's still working on it.
Man, that
Well-
Russia Ukraine been going on forever.
Well, since they split up, obviously.
Yeah.
But
But did you see? Did either one of you all
What-
see
what, Tim?
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene? What she was saying, because she was going in on Trump.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. So I don't know Congress is
well,
some stuff
Tucker
going.
Carlson now they got Candace Owens. There's a lot of division.
Well,
Rep Massey, like Congress, and especially on our side, the conservative side, I guess it's iffy.
yeah, but I think like Tucker Carlson, I like him.
Mhm.
Marjorie Green, Taylor Green. I mean, these people enjoy their grandstand. That's how they make their money.
You're-
So I think if they go in, and I'm not saying they're doing it on their own will, but if they go in and they cause a little bit of, like he tore up freaking Ted Cruz, man. Tucker the other day, I don't know if you saw that, man. He
Lion
tore
Ted.
him up. He goes, what's the population of Iran? And Ted was like, Tucker Carlson goes like 23 million. He goes, you're going to go bomb some country and you're going to agree to bomb some country. You have no idea how many people have been living there. And he's just ripping them up. So I think what's happening is those guys know that if they continue to maintain their status quo, everything's good, then they're, I mean, that's how Tucker Carlson makes his money too,
Mhm.
right? On some sort of controversy.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm not saying he's doing it just for that, but
Right.
Probably doesn't hurt him.
Well,
We wouldn't be talking about him right
No,
now.
yeah.
Or- What's your thoughts, Larry?
man, I like, this is America. You got the freedom to pick and choose and say what you say. So, like, honestly, I'm just waiting to see how this thing really gonna play out, because I know also a lot of people just real quiet, and a lot of people are afraid to even speak on it. I respect anybody, right or wrong, on however you feel about the situation. If that's what you think, so be it. None of us 100% right. You know, those are your opinions, and I respect anybody's opinion. I just wish we just mind our own business.
Heck of a
because I ain't gonna tell you what to do in your house or what to do in your house.
Well, heck of a pool party on Sunday too. At the Perry Hotel.
Man, I heard you was out there pretty live. You too, Tim.
Well, that's why
I'm
going to speak on it a little.
With the wife?
Yeah, so, you know, I got kind of wind and word that...
First off, what do you do for a living?
Social media.
What were you asked to do at the Perry Hotel?
Promote
a party.
Throw a pool party, a summer
I
pool
just want to
party.
ask.
I thank you for the setup. Promote basically the Perry, throw a pool party, people having fun, right? And I've asked you today too.
Were you asked to do the church group on Sunday? No, you weren't. No. You were asked to do a pool party at the Perry Hotel, right?
Get some people together. I think there was probably well over 100 people there. Sunday, Monday, I just got texts and calls from people said that was one of the most amazing parties in Naples. That's
Job
such a
well
great
done.
time.
How old were the people there? Anybody under the age of 21?
Oh no, I would
Thank
say
you.
I would say
50.
I would say 30, 35,
27 up probably.
I would say the average age was probably
adults.
43.
Adults.
You know?
Consulting adults.
Adults.
Yeah.
No incidents, right? No riffraff, no fights, no brawls. But I guess there's a couple people that have a problem how I promoted the event, that I was displaying women, what's the word I'm looking for?
Scantily clad.
Scantily clad.
Because they were wearing a two-piece?
Because it was a pool party, and they were dressed in bikinis. A couple people, I guess females had thongs on, which if you go, like Larry, you said, if you go to the beach.
They had sandals on, like thongs or thongs?
Thongs. Thong to thong, like the Cisco song. Thong to thong to thong. If you go to the beach, Tim, is there a chance that you might see?
Many of them.
Yeah. And you take your kids to the beach, right?
I do.
Were there any kids at the
no.
party?
No.
At the pool party? So, listen, and it's it's usually those people that kind of want a Monday morning quarterback and throw little digs and shots, or have a problem with what I'm doing, trying to make a living, promote an event and a party, and throw shade on it. But listen, I honestly don't believe there was anything wrong with it, how anyone was portrayed. Personally, I will always take everyone's feedback and constructive criticism. And I went to you and asked, hey, Tim, anything in my videos do you think was improper or putting anyone in bad light? Or
I might not be the best person to ask, but
you would tell me straight. No, but I trust your opinion enough.
Sure.
And you would tell me. You've called me out on stuff before, like, Pat, I don't think that's a good look. You should probably post that.
Yeah, because you're a recorder. You record everything. But you ain't trying to see what's really good or bad. You just recording.
Mm-hmm.
So that's naturally. Man, listen here. Let me tell you something. If you have to live your life and go around worrying about what someone else say and what someone else think, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. You will never be happy with whatever you're doing, because there's going to always be somebody with a different opinion than yours and going to say X, Y, Z. Just because that's your line of work, that's because you doing X, Y, Z, that don't stop you from being a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And if a person say that, they might need to check themselves. Might be go back and read the book of Mark as well, talking about judging. So anyway, if I were you, if you know who the individual is, just tell them to slow up. Say, if you wasn't there, don't go by just what you see. You should have been there to really understand. That's the thing about what people see. They'll see a little snippet. That's about what they feel inside. Mm-hmm. And that's what they thinking mentally. So they probably wish they was there and probably was wanting to take part of that. But instead, they'd rather hide and probably have these inside fantasies or whatever they want to do. And however, man, live your life, brother. Yeah. Because life going to keep on lifing, whether you wrong or right.
And I know what I do behind the scenes. I'm comfortable in my own skin. And
behind the Perry.
I feel I live a lifestyle I'm comfortable with. So if you have a problem with, sorry, but like Larry, if you ever address me, well, don't.
Cowards do that, man. Cowards do that. I always tell people one thing about me. what you see is what you get. I don't sugarcoat. There's no lie in me because I ain't met a man yet or a system that I'm afraid of. So if you got something to say, we can address it. If you feel like I'm wrong, I'm the first one to apologize. Look a man in the eye and apologize if I'm wrong, you know?
Absolutely.
And if I could do something better, help me be better. Don't critique. Help me be better. Show me.
Hey, 'cause that's what you would say. Hey, Pat, I don't think maybe showing this person in that light is.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to bring up on that too is I was there. I was with my wife, had a good time. We get home. We're like, hey, it was fun. You know, we had other people there. We watched other people doing some fun stuff.
Nothing crazy, right?
Nothing crazy. What somebody else does, I don't really care. I'm not doing it. You don't do it. Whatever. I didn't even see anything like that. But the point I'm trying to make is, you know, you go there, you enjoy, you have fun. You know, you make your own decisions. Do what you got to do. You know. But hey, you know, like I said, I agree with Larry. You can't worry about what other people.
A lot
say.
of fun though. Great party, right? And we'll be back at the Perry too next month.
Perry, but I tell you what, Albert, that guy,
Albert Black, big shout out to Albert Black. Yeah, great rooms too.
Yeah. On another note, man.
Yeah.
News, man. Like,
I was gonna.
Naples, the Coastland Mall. Real quick, we're gonna sum this up real quick.
What's up there?
Man, them two boys, man.
Oh, yeah.
They beat up the young girl, and then they had a piece. They had that tool with them.
I didn't see it all.
I was like, two dudes actually beat a young girl? Man, they so 65. I hope they get exactly what they're looking for. Hope the girl got some brothers. Now, y'all want to talk about a real boondock saints since America able to go do that to Iran. Hey, that girl brother should go see about them. That's what we need. We need some real boondock saints. You know, would that be okay in America if we had boondock saints?
A little vigilantism? Is that what you're talking about?
So if you do wrong, the boondock saints can come find you.
I have no problem with that.
Coming from the
Charles Bronson, maybe too.
Coming from the politicking with Larry Love and Pat Gyra, but maybe not from the 239. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you don't want your name attached to it.
No, I got you.
Why does every time someone takes a picture with us, they say, I'm a rose between two thorns? You know, I'm really getting tired of hearing that.
You a rose?
No, they're the rose.
Okay.
I don't know why, you know, I have this certain image, like people just think I'm just a real party animal. I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, you were holding the bottle of champagne.
Yeah, but Larry, you do a little bit, like you do a little bit of that yourself. I mean, that's part of your persona.
I know, but if people really know, man, I'm home by 9 o'clock. I'm calling the cows. I'm 10 o'clock. I'm in my 55th dream, you know, and I'm waking up by 4:30. Stop me when I'm lying, brother. Stop me when I'm lying.
You're home by 9?
I'm usually home in my bed.
Pastor.
Home by 9?
Reverend.
If I'm leaving here, I'm guaranteed to be in bed by 10 unless I have something to do over here in Naples.
I think you're
by the time
chasing those white lines at about 1 a.m. When I say white lines, I mean the highway.
Yeah.
I want to clear that up.
No posse, no cocaine, none of that white girl, none of that. Well, if I'm not traveling, but usually if I'm just set and I'm home, I'm in South Florida, I love to be home. And I love me a good book. You know?
What's your favorite book of all time, Tim?
Growing Up Like Larry.
No, I laugh because, I mean, now I do audiobooks because I can't read. But, no, I like...
Because I know Larry.
It's a very small book, but it's probably one of them. There's two of them that I like. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, which is just like a little helper book, and then there's Who Moved the Cheese.
Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah,
by Spencer Johnson.
Because the Who Moved My Cheese, I think, has probably helped me the most in my whole career because you got people in my prior law enforcement career don't understand. Like, hey, you got newer people coming in. We've got to move our cheese because the way we used to do things yesterday is not how you do them today. And if you're not willing to make that change, then you're going to be swept behind. And it's a real small read, Who Moved My Cheese. And then Don't Sweat the Small Stuff is great too, because it just brings you back to like reality. Like, hey, and I do like a little thing sometimes if somebody's running late or whatever. I mean, if you think about life in general, like the things that we get uptight about,
I know,
mean nothing.
Well, they
your health is the most important
stuff that you
thing.
worry about 99% of the time never really comes to fruition. So you sweat all the small stuff.
Plus, you got to live, man. You got to live.
Gotta live.
Yeah.
Gotta live.
You give one life. You got to live it.
Yeah.
Talk about real quick, 239 Live, 239 Uncensored, your new podcast that you got?
Yeah, so we got 239 Live, and a lot of people get it all confused a little bit. But
people always say,
what's
"Is your podcast coming?" It's not a podcast.
So we have 239 Live. We run that live. We're going to take a little break. We're going up north for the summer, but just like a couple weeks. 239 Live is a show which we love. It's fun. It starts at 8 in the morning, gets done at 10 a.m., 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You and I are co-hosts. We have a blast. Get on there. And if somebody has something they want to bring in to the show, we bring them in. Out, sometimes Pat and I look at each other like, that's a little different. But
well, real quick, Naples Flirt Club, Larry, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
You see the Czech girl that we had on our live? She's starting the Naples Flirt Club.
Yeah, Naples Flirt Club.
She'll be back tomorrow.
You know, that's good. And then we're going to have Conservative Ann on tomorrow, this will be not broadcasted by them. But so we have that. And then we have the studio, which is Studio 239. It's a studio here on Houchin Street in the Industrial Park off Pine Ridge Road. If you're interested in doing a podcast, or what I actually like better, and you and I both have discussed this, they call them one-offs. If you have a business, you want to do some reels, you want to get some social media out, come in, sit down for an hour. We'll pummel you with some really good questions that you can answer, and we can repurpose that content for your needs. So 239 Live is our show.
Yep.
Studio 239 is where we do it. And then I also have a podcast. It's called 239 Uncensored, which I interview.
Myself or Larry have not been asked to be on.
Anybody. Yeah, I need to get you guys on. Not that we don't want you on. Just you guys are so close, like brother. Hey, I know. Hey, brother, you want to come on?
I see you every day.
I see you every day. Talk to you. And then we just launched a really fun one. It's called the Cop and Con with David Cravens, and basically it's a YouTube channel where we do reaction videos, and we get it from a perspective from a cop, which I've been in law enforcement for 31 years, and then a con who Dave is. I have a police badge number. He has an inmate number. So he spent a lot of years locked up, and he kind of gives us a perspective. He's reformed. He's been for about 10 years now, drug free, alcohol free. He says, listen, he goes, one thing I can't do is I can't drink because I end up in handcuffs almost every time.
Well, that's what we were just talking about, because Patrick called me before I got on the phone with you. He said, at any point Sunday, were you uncomfortable with all the alcohol around? And you asked me too, like, you know, are you good with all? Never even crossed my mind. I was having such a good time just in the zone, seeing people have fun, that not even a thought anymore. And because, like I told you, if I had a couple drinks, then I'm probably going to go try to find some cocaine. Then I'm going to end up in the bathroom by myself anyway. So not even a thought at that point, because we know where it leads to. There's some people that can just, you know, have a drink or do this and be fine. But,
well, you know, the old saying goes, and we talked about it this morning, is like, you hang around a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. So just be careful. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, because, it's true. Because Larry and I don't want to get a phone call saying, hey, Pat's not doing well. So that's all.
Of course.
But
I know where that leads to. So.
But you, I've been with you for about a year.
Over a year now.
Year and a half or so, almost year and 3 months. And you've done amazing. So I want to make sure that I don't throw into that. I want to be on the good side of it.
No, and I enjoy watching people have fun and do their thing, because I know they're going to have a couple drinks and they're going to go.
You always like me a little bit better when I have a couple drinks.
I do like you. Timmy G has a couple of drinks in him.
Man, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I know.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
He's fun. He was... You were interrogating.
But I have fun. I have fun. What they always say, I'm not like a mean drunk or anything.
You just laugh more and smile more.
No, it's great to see. It's fun. You were even interrogating a couple people.
Well, yeah, I like to interrogate. Bring out,
What were you interrogating so and so about?
I just friends of mine.
Yeah, friends of ours.
Friends of ours.
Anything you want to close? Where does Larry Love see Larry Love 5 years from now? I used to ask that question on job when people interview. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
That's a great.
Guarantee I have me a nice lake house, either in Tennessee or South Carolina, somewhere. Have me a nice place. And gonna have me a nice condo down here on the beach, Naples. I wish I can go back to I forgot the name of that place, but yeah, 5 years from now, man, I got this vision, like, yeah, and I'm working towards it, and it's coming, fruition, it's there. One thing I really know for a fact, 5 years from now, I will be even more peaceful. Man, listen, when I say I don't let nothing disturb my peace, we cool. We're not. What you do is not going to affect me if that's what you choose to do.
You do get upset here now and then, though.
Yeah, when you do stupid stuff, that's when I get upset. Because I love you. That's the only reason why. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't get upset. So, you know, like the Bible say, God chastised those who he loved. And so when I see somebody I love, like, so it's
but
like
communication always helps bridge.
Communication always helps.
You don't just hang up the phone and.
Yeah, I do. I hung up the phone.
You got to talk stuff through sometimes
before you,
right?
But mom always
communication. Sometimes you better not you better stop.
That's it.
Yeah, I got you.
If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it. Oh, yeah. So you got me to the point where I didn't have nothing else nice to say.
I think it's the first time you ever hung up on me.
I just hung up the phone and I even didn't talk to him. He tried calling me back.
Well, I was like, the call must have dropped because out of all the stupid stuff I've done in my life, he's never hung up the phone.
Was his blinker on when you hung up?
No.
Every time I talked to him.
I was at the house.
Not this time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with him right now. And so I just left that like that. Got to give him like
a couple days. It was 4 days. I think
that's the longest. Larry got to calm down.
I think that was the longest we weren't without speaking. 4 days.
Yeah. So I had to calm down.
Poor kids.
Yeah.
Brothers fight.
Yeah, that's it.
No, but we love having you on, Tim. We appreciate you coming on.
Am I allowed to close it out?
Yeah, close it
out. No, I'm just saying. No, I don't want to close it out because I'm like, thanks for having me on. It was good conversation. A lot of stuff we covered. A lot of area.
And just we'll run, but real back to Coastland Mall is really kind of becoming different, right?
It's just nothing going on there except for
kids.
There's kids hanging out.
Remember Edison Mall? And
the thing, it just needs to probably start new. Like,
what do you mean?
Just level of things.
Level
start
new.
I mean, because that land's valuable, man.
It was 2003, Edison Mall.
Oh, Edison Mall.
It was during December. Like, because they had the Mounties out and everything out. Because everybody know it goes down in 4 miles. It goes in 4 miles. Little Pakistan, as they call it. So I'm shopping. I got some bags. I got big bags. First time I ever left and forgot my pistol. I left the house without my pistol. That thing like American Express, especially anytime I'm touching Lee County line, I have to be strapped, ready to let it go. So I'm coming out, right? I see these dudes. Like, damn, now I saw them over there and over here. I say, oh man, I already know what time it is. So I done speed up a little walk. I had my burgundy Cadillac. I had my Cadillac then. I had some wheels on there, nice grill, beat down. So I was like, so when I got in my car, they ran and jumped in Chevy Impala. They had a bubble. Man,
not many of those around in Fort Myers.
No.
Yeah.
A few.
Man,
wheels on them.
They came, they pulled up. By the time they pulled up to me, I was already getting up out of there. We were going down Colonial. I was doing 109 miles per hour going down Colonial. Getting it. And they right up on me. They were trying to rob me. I said, man, that's the only time I have forgot my pistol.
That's crazy. And probably a good thing, a blessing.
We've been shooting it out.
We got to take Tim to the Plies concert at Germain Arena.
Oh, I'm going to the Plies concert. Tim.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask Lauren Maxwell, can we use her suite?
Yeah, she might be using it.
She might go to
not
the
for that concert. Well, she might be right. Now that you say that, she might. Yeah,
Lauren, cool. She cool. Yeah. Cooler than a polar bear.
Yeah, Miss Lauren at I know they're out traveling.
So I'm gonna ask her. Like, that's August 9th. Oh, that's my birthday month too.
It's Sab. You can answer it.
That's my birthday month. So listen here, man. You know what?
Like the Perry Hotel, Larry Love birthday bash.
I just texted
what do you think?
When's your birthday?
August 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. We could set the Perry Hotel on fire for that. We could set it on fire. That'd be the pool party of the decade, of the century.
This was the year. This will be
Yeah, that was good.
The real people really gonna have something to say. But
people flying all over from different parts of the country. Come on in.
Yeah, we'll get Michaela to come down, Rob Foster.
Man, I have everybody.
And what was real cool about that party too, real quick, was you had 2 major congressional candidates at the party as well, at the pool party.
Yeah. Former Rep Carthon and
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, bro.
And Johnny.
It's gonna be
Johnny
interesting.
Funnell.
I like them all.
Yeah.
I like them all. And I actually they're not in my district to vote for, but don't tell them that. But I like everybody who's running right now.
So far.
So yeah.
There's only 18 people.
After running for a position,
Yeah.
hey, listen, anybody who jumps into that race, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you do. I have a lot of respect for anybody who does politics right now because it's a tough one.
You have no bug.
It's a young man game.
No. I mean, never say never.
Right.
But I had a great time.
Yeah.
Everybody was cool. It was
Met
fun.
more people.
But I met some great people. I knew both of you all, but getting to be a little bit more. You find out who's got your back and who doesn't always got it.
But politics will tell you
good.
that.
But it's all good though. It's all good. Even the people I didn't like before, I like them now. So it's all good. I say didn't like. I mean, yeah.
You want to find out who your friends are? Run for politics, go broke, or ask them to help you move.
Right, Brandon? All
right, guys. Appreciate it. Episode 51 in the books. And awesome. I don't talk to you enough, Tim, so to have you in the studio.
Usually I'm like,
no, it was a good show. So.
Yeah, no, great show.
All right.
Later.
Ow.